Well, Ron, when it rains from this direction and it hits the door, the rain washes down and rolls underneath the door and then follows the grout line back to the hardwood floor.
Now, is this a hard rain when this happens, or?
It's any rain that comes at this direction, it hits the door.
Okay. Well, this is Pat, and we're standing outside a set of French doors here at her house. And as you heard, she's got a real problem with water leaking underneath. So first of all, let's see if we can find out what the cause of that problem is, how that water's getting inside, and then come up with a solution. Well, the problem, I think, is right here in this threshold. Now, normally, this high ridge on a threshold right here should align with the bottom of the door. But as you can see in this case, it actually is offset by almost a full inch right here. So what's happening is the water is coming down the face of the door, going over this drip cap, hitting about right here, and then running back inside the house, especially if there's any wind blowing from this direction. And this vinyl seal right down here at the bottom of the door, as you can see, really is hardly even contacting this part of the threshold. So what we're going to have to do is take this threshold out and replace it. Now, I've done a little bit of research, and I found that there really is nothing I can go to the store and buy that's the right size and the right configuration. So what I'm going to have to do is have something made, and I've taken a little time to make a sketch up right here with the dimensions. I'll take this down to a local millwork or cabinet shop in the area here, give them this, and have them make up about a 6-foot length of this for us. Well, this is our new threshold right here. It came back from the millwork shop yesterday, and hopefully I've measured everything and this will fit properly. So what I want to do now is take out the old threshold. This is actually a 2-piece installation here. This small piece of trim molding was put on back here just to cover up the tile. Got that off. This is the main threshold right here. Now, this is a little bit atypical in that it looks to me like the threshold was put in first and then the door frame, so the door jamb here is actually trapping this threshold underneath, so I can't pry this out like I normally would, which means we're going to have to take a saw and cut through the center of this right here, and then hopefully we will be able to pry that loose. Okay, we've got this loose now. You see what I'm saying right here? You see how this is up underneath the jamb? That is normally not the way it's done. I'm going to try to wiggle this out. There we go. Actually, it was even screwed in from the ends here. All right, nailed. Yeah, screwed in. So, anyway, now we're going to have to figure out how we're going to get the new jamb up underneath here. Now, this is polyester resin. It's actually a filler, and I've mixed up this hardener with it. I have a very short work time here, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to apply this right down here at the bottom of this jamb. You see I put a scrap of wood in there already, so it would fill up some of the space. What I want to do here is fill up that gap in there because our new threshold, we're going to drop in from the top. I'm not going to put it up underneath the jamb like it was before. So I want this jamb to extend, as I said before, all the way down to the bottom here. It's been a little over 5 minutes now, and I've let this epoxy resin harden until it's just about the consistency of very hard rubber. You can see how easily it is, or how easily it's shaped when it's this consistency. If you let it go much longer, it gets very, very hard and a lot harder to shape and machine. And you can also take a knife like we'll use right here and cut the excess away, just like that. As you can see, we've restored our jamb here now. We've taken away that undercut that was there previously. Now what we're going to do is cut the end of the threshold to sort of fit into this. Sometimes it's called a coping cut. All right, so come in here and take a look. I'll show you how we'll mark this. Now we want to cut this away right here at the rear edge of this stop. And we'll take a straight edge over here. This will be the exterior edge of the stop. Come in just a little bit more there. There we go. Draw ourselves a line here. All right, now let's see. Thickness of this stop is just about a 1/2 inch. So we'll measure in here 1/2 inch, give us a line right there. So right here, we'll be cutting out this area right in here. Now here's this area that we're going to be cutting out right here. I think the best tool for me to use to remove that material is probably a jigsaw. Now, again, this is a little bit of an atypical installation right here, in that this tile is quite a bit higher by almost 3/8 of an inch than this subflooring right here. So I want to have this completely supported under here. So we put our new sill on, it's the same level. And to do that, I'm going to take some 1/4 inch plywood and just lay it in here. The only problem is the 1/4 inch plywood itself is not quite thick enough. It's shy by, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So to bring that up, cut some strips of roofing paper right here. These will act as shims. And I'm going to lay 2 or 3 of these down here, and I'll check this again until I get the top of that plywood flush or level with the top of this tile. All right, okay, that's about 4 layers of paper. We're perfectly flush right here. There's a little bit of variation because the tiles aren't exactly flat, but that's where I want it. Now, we're going to attach this down using about 1.25 inch ring shank galvanized nail. And we'll space these every, 8 or 10 inches. Well, it's time to put our new threshold down. This is subfloor adhesive right here. I'm going to glue this threshold to the plywood we put down just a moment ago. All right, there we go. Now, also, I put a bead of silicone here on the front edge so no water can come in this way, and a bead of silicone back here on the tile. So if the floor is washed, no water is going to go up underneath that way. All right, now, you notice the ends here where we've done all that cutting, notched it out so it'll fit into the jambs here. And I had to cut that several times. It was more of a trial and error thing than anything else. We should have a nice snug fit now. Okay, and then I'm just going to press everything down, kind of squeeze out the excess adhesive and seal it. In fact, I'm going to stand on this and press this into position. Now, even though the subfloor adhesive is going to do most of the holding, we're going to go ahead and nail this down. These are, again, galvanized nails. And then we're going to countersink these just below the surface. And I'll come back with some wood filler and fill that up. We're going to install some new door bottoms now, and there's a twofold reason for that. First of all, these bottoms have a rain diverter right here, and the purpose of that is to carry the water out away from the edge of the door. Pat, close the door, would you please, for a second? So the water will come down here, it'll be diverted out here to this part of the threshold. This is tapered now, and then it'll flow to the outside of the deck rather than inside. And secondly, there's this vinyl gasket or seal right down here, and that is going to make contact with this high part of the threshold right here. Together, that should give us a nice watertight fit on the bottom. So Pat, if you could close the door about right there, okay? Now, this requires about a 1/2 inch gap between the bottom of the door and the top of the threshold. So I think we're a little bit less than that. We are. So here's how I'm going to mark this so we get exactly a 1/2 inch. This is a compass, and I've set it up here, as you can see, with a 1/2 inch between the pencil and the point. And I'm going to lay the point on the top of the threshold here and draw it across this way, and that pencil line right there will be exactly 1/2 inch above the threshold. Now there's our line that we just drew. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little bit outside that line and sort of finish this off with a power plane. Now Pat's putting a coat of paint on that freshly cut bottom. That'll keep any water from soaking up into the brain in the bottom of the door. And now we're ready to put on this final weather stripping right here. This is going to sit right on the door like so. Okay, and then we'll hold this in place or attach this with some stainless steel screws. Okay, Pat, that does it. I think we're ready now. I'd like to give this the old water test, all right?
Fine.
Now, Pat's son Alex is over here off camera. Alex, go ahead, turn the water on. Pat, just sort of play it back and forth up in here, okay? All the way. Soak it, yeah, a little bit more on this side. Okay. All right, good. Shut it off. Okay, Alex, turn the hose off if you would. Let this drip for just a second. Now let's look inside. Okay. Nice and dry.
Looks good.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very good.
So, just a couple of things here, Pat. When this dries, give it a little sanding, all right?
Okay.
And then about 3 coats of spar varnish. Try to get one with an ultraviolet filter in it. Go to a marine supply place or something like that.
Okay.
And then maybe once a year, just give it a light scuff sanding and put another coat on, and you won't. That's all it'll take to maintain that. Then touch up the jams over here where we put the polyester resin in, and you're all set.
That's great.
Thank you for having us over.
Thank you.
It was a great project.
Thanks.
If this leaks when the rainy season comes, I'm going to give you my producer's number. You can call him 24 hours a day.
Okay, great. Thank you.